Hello and welcome to Shadow Paranormal. This evening we've come to a location I've been wanting to investigate since I first heard about it well over a decade ago. A location with over 1,000 years of history, tales of witchcraft, highwaymen and murder. Today the ancient Ram Inn has become known as one of the most haunted places in all of Great Britain, with many stepping through the threshold, vowing never to return due to their disturbing experiences. This, without doubt, is one of our most anticipated investigations of all time. So without further ado, let's step inside and explore the dark history of this fascinating location. Although much of the current building dates back to the 16th century, it's certain that parts of it were built nearly 1,000 years ago, with records of a building on the site as far back as 1145. If a building of this extreme age wasn't enough, it's also believed to have been built on a pagan burial ground, which could be in excess of 2,000 years old. The inn was originally built to house the masons who constructed the nearby church of St Mary the Virgin, until its first vicar named Gerinus moved into the property in 1154, where he resided for a number of years before an official vicarage was built in the late 1100s. Over the following centuries, the Ram changed hands many times and was home to a number of priests, as well as possibly having ties to the local wool trade. In the 19th and early 20th century, the building was first called by its current name, the Ram Inn, until it poured its last pint and closed in 1968. John Humphreys purchased the inn the same year, where he lived for the remainder of his life, dedicating his time to preserving the building and unearthing its many secrets until his death in 2017. During his time living at the inn, Mr. Humphreys experienced thousands of seemingly supernatural events, with dozens of guests fleeing in the dead of the night during its time operating as a bed and breakfast, as well as numerous exorcisms being performed, all of which appear to have failed. Since the 90s, numerous paranormal investigators have stepped foot inside the Ram Inn and have documented just about every conceivable type of activity, from sightings of apparitions, poltergeist activity, disembodied voices coming from nowhere, and disturbingly, a number of physical attacks, some even resulting in possessions. With evening drawing closer, we decided to take a walk through the building and visit some of the areas of the inn enveloped in dark history and high levels of paranormal activity.
I actually feel sick.
Same.
I don't even think it doesn't even feel like it's like an excitement sick. It feels like something else. This is weird.
This actually feels nasty in here.
I'm physically shaking.
That's so weird. I'm not even barely through the door and I can feel that.
This does feel nasty, doesn't it? In here.
It doesn't feel right. Whatever it is doesn't feel.
This whole house has felt like an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
In the 16th century, as the witch trials gripped the country, nobody was safe and at any time could find themselves being accused of witchcraft and hanged. The room known as the Witch's Room is said to be where a lady accused of witchcraft sought refuge before being captured and tried. She is believed to haunt this room, with many who have encountered her describing her as evil. Could her spirit here be fraught with such paranoia and fear of her eventual demise that anyone entering the room is even today seen as a threat?
So there's that cane hanging on the thing by the lamp.
Yeah.
So if you get that, and then you're supposed to knock on that like engraving thing on the door 3 times and ask, is anybody there?
Is anybody there? And then we go in.
Oh. Did anyone else hear that? Was that car?
Yeah. This is.
Oh, that's behind me. Wow.
I think this is where we'll be sleeping. Yeah.
The Bishop's Room is said to be one of the most haunted areas of the inn, with sightings of a ghostly cavalier materialising by the dressing table before striding across through the opposite wall. Two phantom monks have also been seen here on numerous occasions, along with horrifying screams being heard in this room, believed to be from a man who was murdered by having his head thrust into the open fire.
Watch this step here, James.
Nutcracker beam.
This is the other bed. See, I don't feel as bad up here.
Not as bad as I thought it would be.
Feels alright.
Maybe this is the chill room where we hide and sleep.
The attic is thought to be the former hideout of two local highwaymen. Legend also tells of the murder of a former innkeeper's daughter here. Disturbingly, people staying the night in the bishop's room below have often found themselves awoken in the dead of night to the sound of footsteps and something being dragged above them. Could this be the sound of the girl's murderer hiding the evidence of their brutal crime? On the ground floor next to the former men's bar is an area known as the burial pit, where during renovation work Mr. Humphreys unearthed the skeletal remains of a number of children, which some believe were the victims of ritualistic sacrifice dating from long before even the Ram Inn's construction. At night, some people believe that they have heard the disembodied sound of a baby crying at the graveside. Two of the most well-known entities within the Ram Inn is that of the incubus and the succubus. Now in mythology, these are both sexual demons who will attack a man or a woman whilst they sleep and assault them sexually. John Humphreys actually had a number of encounters with said entity whilst he lived here, and there's been a number of other people who have also stayed in the building that claim to have also had similar experiences. Now whether this demon does genuinely exist, whether it's sort of just been fabricated as a negative force, but certainly walking around within here you can see where these dark, really disturbing stories may originate from. When we investigate places, we like to try and gather as much information as we can about the site, and this obviously includes looking at previous eyewitness accounts. Now, the late John Humphreys, who owned this place, was at the centre of many of the experience and alleged sightings, and although he's obviously no longer with us to try and validate these claims, and by no means do I want to shine any negativity on his life and his legacy, but I do wonder if maybe some stories have grown larger than life over the years. Now there's a number of ghost stories and legends from this place that have grown up over the years and really don't have any facts to back them up. I'm sure a lot of this is through mediums coming here and picking up on things, and other ghost hunters coming in supposedly picking up on things, and these stories have grown up around them, potentially people saying, you know, that they feel like there was a murder in a certain area, and there's not really a lot of hard evidence to back up a number of these supposed ghost stories. I mean, I know for a fact that a dowser visited this place and told John Humphreys that the burial pit was in excess of 5,000 years old, but there's no archaeological evidence to back that up whatsoever. And with things like that, it does show that although there has certainly been a lot of experiences here, how many of the actual ghost stories have grown up through legend and how much are based on hard fact? Hopefully that's something we'll be able to dig into a little bit deeper tonight. We began our investigation by setting up a number of cameras and pieces of monitoring equipment around the inn, including a number of REM pods, devices that emit an electromagnetic field around an antenna, and should anything break that field, an alarm will sound. Before I even had chance to leave the witch's room, however, the REM pod positioned in there began detecting something. Oh.
What?
That just went off by itself.
And it stopped by itself?
Yeah.
And no car went past?
Let's go and get the camera before we get stuff going this evening.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes later, unknown to us, the REM pod was triggered once again. Although there is power to the house, which itself emits an electromagnetic field, something that could interfere with the REM pod's own field, we monitored this for the whole night and recorded a steady baseline with no spikes or drops in the readings, meaning it's extremely unlikely that this would be the cause. Already slightly on edge, we made our way to a room known as the Den to introduce ourselves to whoever or whatever we would be spending the night with. Anybody in there? In the den?
It takes quite a bit of doing.
I really don't.
Come in and close the door then.
What is it you don't like in here?
It's that. I really don't like that. Like, I just don't want to look at it. I don't want to be near it. I just feel...
We've seen before that you can open that door into this room. Maybe you can do that to show us that you're here with us. Maybe we can hear whoever's here walking through the building.
A place like this makes me rethink why I joined Shadow Paranormal in the first place.
Really?
Because I feel terrified.
This place isn't like a nice place, is it? I mean, this is definitely one of the darker ones I've been to.
Come on, see if you can move that latch on the door. I've seen you do it before.
Luke, where have you gone?
Near the barn.
And where's James?
I don't know where he is.
Upstairs.
Because I swear... I'm sat here and I'm corner of my eye.
Yeah.
Just like a black...
From here?
From about there. From about here. That way.
Downwards?
Not going up, going downwards.
Into the grave.
Oh.
Although it doesn't match up completely with what Sophie saw, our locked-off camera captured this anomaly at the exact same time she saw the shadow. And seeing as this was the only anomaly like this captured on the 7 hours of recording, it seems a little too coincidental for it not to be linked to this sighting. About an hour into recording, the infrared light in the bishop's room mysteriously turned off by itself. A few minutes later, it switched on again before turning off for a final time. We actually entered the room not long after, and the battery, which had been fully charged earlier that day, had been completely drained. It was around a similar time that our torch also stopped working, plunging us into darkness, and with a chill creeping through the inn, we decided to light a fire and see if this would draw anything out.
But they paper will go out. What was that?
That was in there.
We haven't got a torch in there, don't forget.
The other camera's upstairs. Oh. This is like typical. It's like it's waited until we literally have no light or anything. This is, I always find it's always like kind of like cosmic humour to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's trying to get us off guard. What's it going to do? Oh, make us so annoyed that we think nothing's going to happen. Almost give up, and then catch us out.
Yeah, when our torches
what's else is going to do? Oh, the torches stopped working. Oh, and it's like, what was that noise in there?
It's through here somewhere, wasn't it?
Oh, it's gone. What was it? It was a loud knock.
Someone in there? This camera would have picked it up if it was through here.
I don't think it was as far through as it.
No, I don't. I think it was in that.
It was in here.
Yeah.
It sounded like a door knocker.
After this, we decided to split up, myself and James heading upstairs to the bishop's room, and Sophie remaining downstairs in the former men's bar to investigate further. There's just two of us in here now. If you want to come over to us.
Oh, just realised as well. Me and you've come off up this way.
Yeah.
Now Sophie is alone downstairs with no cameras.
She's got one in the room with her.
She's got that one against the thing, but I feel like I'm literally waiting for her to go, look!
Yeah, yeah. That's the point. Sophie, forgive me for saying this, but if there is anyone with us, could you go down and see Sophie?
She put her feet on the chair. Not the dog were in, but she did.
She's down. What'd you say?
What room are you in?
The bishop's room.
I just heard something in the living room.
Oh my god.
Go.
I can't see, I can't see.
That was funny timing.
Remember the motion detectors?
Oh yeah.
Because the bishop's room is above that, right?
Yeah,
I
it'd be like
heard
that. In here?
All the lights.
No, it's on. It's like that. I've got the fire going.
Oh nice.
I had a. What were you doing? No, why are you both laughing?
Because
Literally just as that happened.
we was up there, and I said, and James just said that you're obviously down here on your own. I said, do you think you could go down and see Sophie? And then within 10
You
seconds...
said, Sophie, forgive me. Do you think you could, whoever's here could go down and see Sophie?
And within 10 seconds, you shouted up.
I was literally just saying as well, I feel like I'm just going to hear Sophie go,
Yeah.
look.
I was
in a
within
second.
10 seconds after I said, can you go down and see Sophie?
Not even kidding. It wasn't even like it was. We said it and then we were talking and then that happened.
Yeah, it was like, can you go down and see Sophie? And we waited, and then...
Look.
No. Was it loud?
I was looking at the fireplace. I was trying to blow on that.
Yeah. Oh, she was over there, so it was
Yeah.
loud enough that you could hear it over there.
Bishop's room is
And it
like
was
up.
definitely
Bishop's room's like up here.
like just that.
Oh, he just said it, like...
Just said it. God, it makes such a fuss before it takes the picture.
Oh, tell me about it.
What?
Sophie, say something.
I thought I heard talking. Sophie, did you say something?
No.
I heard that as well.
What did you hear? What, male or female?
They're going like. "Rrr."
What did you say?
I'm sat reading the book in silence.
Yeah, I heard a woman's voice.
Yeah, I heard like "Rrr," saying something.
Sophie, grab that camera and come this way.
Where did you hear it from?
What?
It was either through here or up there.
You'll be able to see on this camera that I was sat in silence
Yeah.
reading the book.
There's a woman's voice just we heard.
Shut up.
We both heard it.
I've just read that in the book. That pretty much there, a woman's voice is heard.
We both just heard something going like. "Rrr."
Yeah.
I don't know what it said. It was like distant. Maybe it was upstairs.
Sophie had been reading the guest book, which included numerous accounts from previous visitors, one of which also described hearing a female voice in the exact same spot myself and James had.
Oh, I caught the rocking chair with my foot.
I was rocking, is it?
Yeah, I set it off with my foot. It's just the voice again.
Sophie, did you speak then?
I just had to say something.
Sophie, did you speak?
No.
We just heard it again.
She just
Shut
heard him
up.
talking again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the camera still rolling in front of me. You'll see that I didn't speak.
Yeah.
I sat down and I opened the book again.
Heard it again. I assumed it was you.
Yeah, I thought it was you. Just went like like as if you'd gone like Like there's
What was that? Upstairs, downstairs?
That was. Back we go. I don't know.
No, just stay, do the same again.
That's so strange.
Twice now we've heard that.
Again in this room.
I'm hoping that.
Both times it's been a case of us both walking into the room and stopping. Then it's happened. I think we try. If we both walk into the barn, walk back and stop again in here. That's what it seems to happen every time we get to this room.
Although it wasn't heard again, we couldn't help but wonder if the female voice we had heard was the witch who was said to haunt the room just up the stairs from where it was heard. Our investigation continued into the early hours of the morning, but we experienced no further activity. Our visit, however, had given us plenty to take home, and we doubt that this will be our only investigation at the ancient Ram Inn.